Cool, back, got another one. Got Crimson Goku, we're here with Jade. Got 17th place in Oceanic Nationals on the last weekend. Just bubbling out, unfortunately, with your, what was it, 7-2?
That was 7-3.
7-3.
6-3, sorry.
6-3, yeah. So just the count back thing, unfortunately. That's how it is. But still 17th place, really good. Happy with the deck?
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, been playing since the beginning of set 19, so felt comfortable going into it.
Again, not to be cliche, but you were playing it before it was cool, so you've been bringing it to locals every week.
Yeah. So I wasn't a copycat. I mean, I did obviously switch up my deck a bit based on some of the US decks from their nats, so obviously made it a bit stronger to what I originally had it, but yeah,
actually really unfortunate. You thought you were coming in with Rogue and then the Americans just took it over. Disgusting.
Yeah, I knew straight away as when we're going into Australian nats that it was going to be flooded with Crimson, so
yeah. All right, take us through.
Alright, so obviously we're playing Son Goku Crimson. I'm sure everyone knows what this leader does by now because it's everywhere, but super strong blue deck, or blue leader. I guess what makes this leader so strong is obviously his activate battle. Is every time he's attacked or if you attack with this leader, discard a Saiyan, draw a card, and you can take a life. So taking a life is great if you're playing against a leader or a deck that wants to stall you out. Once you've got 5 Saiyans into your drop area, then you can awaken by placing 5 Saiyans underneath your leader, and then basically awaken, untap 1, and draw 3. The draw 3 is insane. Like, just even though you don't plus on the unawakened side, the +3 when you awaken just brings you right back into the game.
What time are you normally awakening? Like turn 3, probably average, or?
Yeah, depending. If you're playing a more aggressive deck, you awaken super early because they're just going to keep swinging, so you're just going to keep pitching. But majority of the time, yeah, turn 2, turn 3, just depends on like if you. There's been some games where I've struggled to get a Saiyan into my hand, so I've had to take a different route.
Yep.
On the awakened side though, this is where it's really good. Is when you swing, you draw 1, untap 1. So it's a less better version of what Soul Striker is, but what makes this leader insane is his activate battle. So his activate battle is place X cards from underneath this card in your drop area. This card gets +2k power for the battle for each card you send. If you send 3 or more cards, you get to untap an energy and draw a card.
And for those that don't know, defensively in Dragon Ball, 2k is pretty much 5k, so you've got, what's that, times 5, almost 25k worth of combo power if you use it separately one by one.
That's it. So with this effect, especially like later on, like which I'll show you, especially with my secret, is being able to untap 2 energy just allows you to do some really explosive plays, especially when you're going for your kill turn. So that's pretty much what you can really say about the leader. But the cards that actually go with the leader effect, or what you want to see first and put under, is Videl. She's just generic 1-cost like counterattack, and when you play her, you just burst 1. But what makes her so good is obviously her auto, because if she's sitting underneath your leader and you use your leader effect to pitch her by putting under leader into drop, if you've got no cards in your combo area, you can actually combo with her. So you essentially get a +7, like 7k combo.
Yeah, so essentially again 10k almost.
Correct. But if you're using your leader effect and you decide to pitch 3 and you have 2 of them that are getting pitched, you can still only resolve 1 of them, because once there's 1 card in your combo, that's it. So she's what you kind of want to open up with super early.
Yeah. Is that pretty much the only thing that came from the set with the leader that you actually still keep in the deck?
Yeah, there's a lot of other ones, like there's combo ones where basically you can combo with I think it's a Vegeta or something, or a Trunks, that you can bounce one of their combo cards back to their hand. But
oh yeah.
It's not that good. It doesn't give what she does. Like I said, like if you get stalled out, you can just negate with her. Burst 1 could be a Saiyan, which would be great, and then you just combo off, and then
that's 2 Saiyans for 1 energy and a negate, not bad.
Yeah. Run 2 Borgos. A lot of people ran 3, only ran 2 because one only owned 2. But once you see him, you sit him on the field and he's just going to stay there the whole game. That's what you want for your blue matchups. Most people, especially in the blue mirrors that I kept playing, once he's on the field, like no one worried about dimension magic or anything like that. You just negate, don't untap. And the same thing with me. Every time they play this on me, I just didn't bother about it.
Do you feel it actually hurts a blue mirror with dimension, or it's more so it's just a draw with barrier?
Essentially just draw barrier, because it's now going to be a combo card later on in the game.
Yeah.
The reason what got me excited for playing blue this set was Piccolo. So this guy is an insane card for like any blue deck now. He's basically, you pay 2, you can play him out. It's a limit 1, so you can only do it once. But once he's played, you've got 2 options. You can either give him barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn, or you can play a pan. This one, which is, she's got barrier. Once she's played, you just draw 1 card, so essentially you're replacing Piccolo by playing her out. But you also
Pre-release pan.
it's good. So yeah, basically once you replace like the card in your hand, a lot of the times, especially on my awakened side, like when I want to try and push, I'll swing twice because he's a dual attack, so 2 20 swings, and I'll swing my leader, and then I'll combo the pan as well. So that's another 20k leader swing. So it's
And another
good
Saiyan
pressure.
in your drop, yep.
Yeah, so it's really, really good pressure. This card probably should have been tied to just superhero leaders, because I feel like in a lot of these new or older blue decks, it's just too
suit
strong.
now,
Yeah,
Going
paying
in every
2,
blue deck.
using your leader to untap 1, you paid 1 basically for him. It's insane. There's been some games where I played him out in turn 3 by paying 2, then I've awakened, and then I've used my leader effect as well, that swing, and then I've untapped another energy, and I just paid him out for 3. So I paid 2 Piccolos, 1 turn. Probably not ideal, but it's fun to do.
You need to put the pressure on.
Yeah. Another broken card coming from the set is Black Smoke Dragon. This card just generates way too much value. Like, doesn't matter what you do. It's just, yeah, anything like barrier, like especially like a Blood Slug that someone tried to play on me, I instantly just removed it. I'm not dealing with that.
Gone.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with it. So his effect is basically you pay 2, and when he's out, you've got 3 options. So the first one is if you can burst up to 3 cards, but if you've got 7 or more cards in your drop area between you and your opponent, you can draw 2 cards. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and you cost 7 or less, ignoring barrier, and send it to the warp. Or the final one, which is the strongest one, which is great against red, is choose one of your opponent's unisons with an energy cost of 2 or less, and 7 few markers, and send it to the warp.
It's probably the best tech piece in the game
Yeah.
overall now. It's almost taken over Draw Monkey, I think.
Yeah, so in my game 6, I think it was, I was playing against an SS4, and he played 2 of the unisons on me, and I played 2 smokes. So I was just wasting his turn. Wasn't really affecting me because I pay 2, bring him out, swing with leader, untap an energy, combo him out, and I just generate a lot more value than essentially with that. But this card is just overall just good in any deck that like these days now.
Should have been locked to black.
Yes. So with me, because we were playing best of 1 pre-side, I didn't really care too much about what my main deck was because I'll show you. I was running 4 Goku Black. It's probably a bit excessive, but I absolutely love this card. It does so much. Like, it saved me so many times and so many attacks. So he's basically, if you've got leader card as mono blue and you've got 3 or more Z energy, you pay 1 blue energy and you can play him out during a battle. Once he's played, you draw 1 card and choose one of your opponent's battle cards, which costs 4 or less, and bottom deck it. I did play against 1 yellow deck, and the person basically tried to do the whole mirror combo into Oolong. I still had an energy open, and I was at 1 life. He dumped the whole hand onto Oolong. I just paid him out for 1 energy.
Turned him into bacon.
Yeah, just gone, deleted. So this card generates so much value, but the reason why I was running it at 4 is whatever deck I was playing against, I'd normally probably just side 1 of them out or 2, and I'll just replace. So it didn't bother me that there was 4 in there. A lot of the times, this is what I want to see in a later game because it just puts in a lot of pressure.
So ideal ratio, what do you think you would run if you were doing just a best of 1 without sideboards?
Just 3.
3?
Yeah, because it's a card that you do want to still see. But the reason why I had it at 4 is I don't like pitching it from a leader effect because obviously you're not going to really see it again later on. This is tech that I got from the US, so 2 Trunks Calamity Challenges. This one's basically just to find your unisons, which I'll get to in a minute. So with him, basically, you're paying 1 energy, and you choose one of your mono blue Saiyans that doesn't have unique. Energy costs 3 or less, place at the bottom of your deck, and you get to play this guy out. When he's played out, you can send any of your opponent's battle card, not ignoring barrier, back to their hand. So he's really good, but his other effect as well is when he's played, you can search out a Tapion. So anything with the Tapion name, you can grab, which is
The unison, yeah.
yeah, which is this guy.
Just generates so much value as well.
Yeah, so this unison, like, I didn't actually think of this, like in my build, I was playing a lot more of an aggressive version, but after seeing the way it performed, the US Nats, it's just, yeah, it's a unison no one ever actually thought would be good, but it's fantastic.
I mean, now with Smoke, I guess you don't really want to be running 2-cost unisons, so 3 and above is the way to go.
Yeah, so especially like if in a more of a stally game, the reason why I didn't play the baby unison was because it's only a 15k. With Tapion, it comes out for 3, and then you +2, and so by switching into rest mode, +2 goes to 5 straight away, and you draw a card. So you don't get an attack off him, that's perfectly fine because he's a 19k, and every time I played it on the weekend, not a single person bothered attacking into him because it's
not
a
worth
waste
it.
of resources.
Yeah.
Waste of resources, waste of attacks. The reason why I like this over the other baby unison is because he was only a 15k, and a lot of my opponents were swinging into that, and a lot of times, especially like with baby, I should bring him out. It was Golden Avenger. So a lot of the times with the baby, it's essentially better because you can obviously free play this out, and it will save you for like a lot of attacks. But I never really worried or concerned myself too much about that because I hated paying 5. The baby unison would have been better for this route to free play out, but with just like how many marks and stuff like that you can generate, it's like the unisons are just, especially like because I played 5 Crimson decks, and
a lot of mirrors.
Yeah, so with 3 God Sealing Techniques, I just kept like every single time they tried to play like a Gohan secret on me, I just bounce it back to hand, and majority of the time they don't even worry about trying to go back into it again. They'll just try and save it for the next turn and redo the play. It's the only reason why I ran 1 baby is because majority of the time I didn't like having a 10k in my hand that I couldn't really get any use out of, like in the later games.
I mean, it still comes up occasionally. The counter is good.
Yeah, I only ever resolved him once throughout the whole day because most of my games ended turn 4. So
it's just a blue thing now. You see 5 energy up and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but Tapion is just, he sticks on the board. Once he's on there, no one's going to be dealing with him. You can't really do anything about it. You just leave him. His +0 I actually used a couple of times, but the second I put 10k onto my leader, they'll just negate it straight away. So I never even worried about that one. I played 1 Gohan.
Only 1?
Only own 1. So I couldn't be bothered chasing another one, but with this one, every time I found him, I always just like held him in my hand. I didn't worry about like going for the with the combo power, but basically just putting it to Z and then paying 1 just to get rid of a 5 cost.
So would you run more if you had more?
Yeah, I'd have him at 2.
2.
So obviously he's an 8 cost, but he comes out for 3 in an activate battle. So you pay 3 energy, you can play him out. His auto is when you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of the deck. It's insane, like the amount of times in my Crimson matchups where I'd have Gohan secret out. I'd swing with it, I'd do my effect, and then they'll combo, like they play him in their combo phase and they get rid of my secret. Still resolve my effect, but it still hurts just to see them just tap 3 and
Can
just
never go in against blue anymore.
Yeah, so this card is definitely a 2. Sometimes you could probably say 3. He's insane, especially if you want to try and resolve his auto. But just 2, yeah.
Valid.
He's great. So I'll go super combos. So I ran 1 Zeno, 3 Vegetas. I was a bit skeptical about running Zeno because I don't try to play a stall game. I try to play as aggressive as I can. So Zeno can get in the way at times, but pretty much every time I've found Zeno actually resolved him and it's helped me out in my defensive phases.
He's another 1-drop you can bottom deck with Trunks as well, isn't he?
No, because it has to be a Saiyan.
Oh, it has to be a Saiyan.
Yeah. But just your normal generic Vegeta super combo. You just bottom deck 1 card, draw 2. It's pretty simple. Two UIs, just insane. Like, just it's so hard for your opponent to try and push damage against you. If you have two of these and they try and go in big, just paying two, well, basically you pay one, untap one, give you a lead of 15k for the battle. That's just insane. Dropping two of them, your just leader's already at 45k. You're gonna...
Yeah, you're not out comboing Crimson.
Yeah, it's just, he just generates way too much value for free. Couple that with Beerus.
Mm-hmm.
This basically just like, this leader, this extra card just scares a lot of people with their 2 costs.
Yeah, especially Red's Vegeta Z card.
Yeah, they've, like, you force them into having to use their like activate effect just to give their Vegeta barrier. So basically you're paying 1, you give your leader during a battle 10k. If you do it during your turn, you can get like bottom deck one of your opponent's battle cards higher than the energy cost. And if it's during your opponent's turn, you can bottom deck a 2 or less and draw 1 card. So insane value. Like, I've actually dropped this so many times on my turn when people are playing out their secrets. I just remove them straight away.
On color pseudo combo with removal, sounds good.
It's just, Beerus is like so good.
He's probably the best out of all 5 of those ones.
Yeah, and then 2 Gokus, just pay 1 to combo, 10k, draw 1 card. You're just really good, especially coupling with your leader effect. It's good to push pressure. My overwhelms, I actually ran 1 Trunks and 1 Dark Broly. The reason why I ran the Trunks is because I try and play fast. There are times that I just like playing him out straight away just to keep pushing on that turn, especially like on turn 3. If I can have like 2 Piccolos resolved on the field. So with him, basically, you overwhelm for 4, it's free. You draw 1, he gets 5k, so it's 25k swing. This one's more for your later game where you're wasting your opponent's resources if they play a block or negate or anything like that. So he's overwhelmed 6. When he's played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their wall. So pretty much, he's pretty much in every single deck now. He's replaced like the old dual attackers and stuff.
I hate that they gave this guy 0 combo power.
Yeah.
It's the new trend with
Dark
Black.
Broly.
Yeah.
So, but it's a bit unfortunate. I probably would have ran 2, but a lot of my games I actually did resolve this by just having 4 cards in my drop area and just keep applying pressure.
And same.
Yeah. I ran 2 Champa.
Yep, double
This is the
strike
reason
still
why I
good.
was saying like I like trying to push pressure is a lot of my games I actually found like 2 in one game. So once you've used 1 Champa, they think, okay, that's it. Like you pushed in, and yeah, basically you have a second one, and they're just not going to expect it.
3 to 1, then Gohan, done.
Yeah. So I actually did that against Marcus, where I put him for 5 to 3, and then I went in for my big turn, which was by using I swung with my leader, he didn't negate. I basically comboed massive, used my leader effect to remove 10 cards. I'm going to remove 5 cards to get the 10k, untap 1, draw 1, and then I comboed all the way up to 105k double strike. The reason for that is I was trying to put him at 1, and he also realized that. And the reason I tried to put him at 1 was this way. So most of my games are won solely from burning their last life by doing the exact same play. If whatever card I've swung with, I basically combo massive, I leave 1 energy open, I have my leader effect to untap that last energy.
Just too good.
And yeah, you play Gohan. If they manage to get out of the attack, that's all cool, because once you play Gohan out, his effects are wild, which allows you just to keep extending. So with Gohan, basically you pay 2 blue energy, you have 3 or more energy, you got to send 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck, that's a cost. But when he's played, you choose all your opponent's battle cards in unisons and send it back to their hand. If your opponent has more cards in their hand than you get to burn 1 life. So every time I was going for my kill turns, I basically combo massive, so I'd only have the 3 cards left in hand, which would be Gohan and 2 other cards, and they'll be forced to pretty much take that hit, and then I just pay the 2 and essentially just steal the win. And that's exactly what I did against Marcus on stream. I comboed all the way up to 105k.
Doing it for Australia.
Yeah, it was a scary, scary match. I was not anticipating playing against him,
Shame
let alone playing on...
Couldn't verse Robbie as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But Yeah, basically he comboed all the way up to like 80k, and then he sort of realized what was going on because he saw I had 3 cards left. He literally looked up to me and said, "You got Gohan in your hand, don't you?" And I was just smiled.
The
And
handshake.
then yeah, so he just took the 2 lives, and then yeah, I played Gohan out and
Done.
yeah, managed to steal a win against probably arguably one of the best players at the moment. So
Yeah, top 2 in America.
yeah, that was definitely my highlight. I mean, I bubbled out at 17th, but getting a win against someone of that high caliber just felt fantastic.
Yeah, good day.
And just to quickly finish it off,
Blue
just your
stuff.
generic blue stuff, 4 Dimension Magic and 3 Beam. A lot of the times I took some Dimension Magics out just to do sideboard stuff because
You can defend so easily even without it.
yeah. Alright, so that's the main. Go to the side. So I love this spice. I actually have this in a lot of side decks. It's so good, especially just to try and steal, like, this is mainly for like Red Sin.
Yeah.
Especially when they try and go in for the triple strike and
They dump.
dump everything, and then you just pay 2 on your combo, remove triple strike away, and that's pretty much, they're done.
I think this would still be in every deck if it cost 1 energy.
Yeah, if it was 1, it'd be almost 2 broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a blue deck, it's pretty easy to keep 2 energy open. You can sparking, take a life, untap 2 energy, and you've got 2 energy open just to defend you from something massive, especially when they try and steal the win. Played 1 Kami. This is just for the yellow decks, especially the ones that like to sit behind barriers.
Trunks Vegeta, Goku 8.
Yeah, I'm not good against yellow, so a lot of my sideboard is to deal with yellow. So Kami's great. You pay 1, put him on the field, draw a card.
So
And
blue's killing red at the moment. You reckon yellow will kill blue?
I struggle against yellow just because they have so much defensive tools. So like blue, they like to stall you out. But right now, I guess you could probably say that blue is probably the strongest color because obviously it's countered red very well. You pay 2 when he's on the field, and then if your opponent's got 4 or more battle cards in play, choose all your opponent's battle cards 4 or less, ignoring barrier and KO them.
Kill your own board as well. So usually
Yeah,
play this
yeah.
one first if you can before anything else.
Yeah. For red, obviously, every time I see a red deck, I'd instantly take 3 cards out, 3 DBS in.
Surprised you're not maining it, but I guess best of 1 pre-side.
That's
your
the
sideboard
reason.
is
That's
your
the
main
only
board.
reason why I didn't main it is because it was best 1 pre-side. So it didn't really matter what sort of route I took the main deck because I just swap things
They're
out.
essentially there anyway.
If it was a best of 3, I'd instantly have like at least 2 of these in my main deck.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so basically he's just your counterplay. You pay 2 blue energy, draw a card. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards, and it costs 7 or more for the turn. Or if you've just got nothing else to do, you can just pay 1 to negate attack.
Yep, always good.
So this is for, I guess, the yellow matchups and for also Gamma, because I hate playing Gamma.
Floodgates.
Anything Floodgates, I hate it. The only reason I ran 3 of each because I was always undecided on what sort of way I wanted to try and deal with it. If I'm playing against yellow and they're going to keep dropping freezes, begrudging doesn't get as like sort of much value because they're not pitching anything. Whereas if I were to pay 1 for Koi and then they do it, they have to draw or warp 2 cards.
It's interesting that begrudging is terrible in black because we have Super Kamehameha, but it's great in every other color.
Yeah. So Gamma's the one deck I just don't like playing just because they got so many more floodgates. They got even more floodgates coming, especially like with the Gohan in there now. It's just a real pain to deal with. And with the way I want to play fast. I don't like playing slow, so I just want to keep swinging.
It's the
And-
black player talking.
Yeah. But yeah, like begrudging is good, but sometimes you're taxing like your turn. I mean, you can obviously, if they freeze a counterplay, you can then swing with the leader next, untap that energy, and you can still keep pushing. But Koitsukai is sometimes just a little bit better because once he's in your drop area, you pay 1, you remove him from the game. You can choose up to 2 cards in your hand, set them to the bottom of your deck, and then you can draw as many cards as you put back. And then for the rest of the turn, if your opponent plays a battle card, with 20k power or less, they got to walk 2 cards from their hand.
Yep, floodgates, tokens, counterplays, anything.
So this into Gamma is huge because they struggle when it comes to hand size, especially if they don't run like the 8s, the
Yeah,
3
this
cards.
is going to hit the 20k, the new Gohan rare. It's going to hit their floodgate. It's going to hit their Android 18 counterplay,
Yeah,
and
just-
token negates.
Just everything. So Koitsukai is better. I probably didn't need to run 3 begrudging, could have just ran 2, but yeah, certain matchups I just thought it might be a bit better. These are for the blue decks, so I had no idea what to actually expect from a lot of the blue decks going into it. Obviously, I thought there was going to be a lot of crimson, which there was. It's actually more than I think anyone expected. But with Beerus and all that stuff on the rise, like, I don't like turning the tide. No one does.
You just have to, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to. If I was playing against any other deck that wasn't crimson, I pretty much sided in Durin because.
Interestingly enough, this is fantastic against the blue Z card as well. That makes you bottom deck to 10.
Yeah. So it's actually a good point. But so with Durin, basically, he's your counterplay. So if your opponent plays a battle card, you play him out for 2, draw 1 card, and then you can't send any battle cards or cards from your hand to bottom your deck by your opponent's skills for the turn. So he's basically, if you play him against someone that drops turning the tide on you, you pretty much won the game because they just lost their whole hand whilst you get to keep yours. Actually, you draw a card, so you plus. And this one I actually put into every single blue deck. So with Gohan's Secret obviously being insanely broken at the moment, with DeVale, with his deck, he actually ran the Goku Secret, and it's basically just like your old like Shenron leader where you can just have a whole new turn. So I was actually afraid of that secret more than anything, so I played Krillin the Cunning, 2 of them, didn't need any more. You pay 1 energy, once he's paid, draw a card, and then doesn't matter about whoever's turn player. If you were to untap an energy through an extra card or a battle card, you have to send 5 cards from your drop area to your warp. That's the cost. So there's been a lot of like ruling going back and forth about people saying like that you just fulfill as much as you can, then you can just keep untapping. Where we all know that's not the case. Basically, you can only untap as many times as
the per energy. It puts a cost per energy you untap.
Yeah. So if you want to tap 1 energy, you have to at least send 5. Well, you have to send 5 cards. If you want to tap 2, you have to send 10.
Yeah, turns that secret rare into a 40k triple, nothing else.
Yeah, so that secret is actually really scary because obviously the way they're set up is most decks they'll ramp, they'll get the Vegeta out, they'll put 4 more cards back into their thingy, to their energy.
Harudigan if they're playing blue-green.
Yeah, and then they'll play the Goku Secret, they'll reset, and then they'll play Turn the Tide, and then just, they've got a complete massive board, you've got no cards in hand, and they'll just keep swinging at you and there's nothing you can do about it. They can take 4-0 so quickly. So at least with Krillin, it makes it a bit more difficult. They can untap 2 extra energy, it's still a lot, but with me playing blue, I had a lot of like defensive tools anyway to try and help deal with that game.
Awesome. Going over to Z deck.
Oh, this is fun. So this one was probably one of my MVPs, especially against Marcus, because with my turn I kept poking with my Piccolos. I just kept swinging with 20Ks. I didn't combo into him. He would beam up, but he was still losing cards. So eventually I just kept hitting him massively to the point where I got him to 5 and then I hit him with a big double strike. He ended up with 16 cards in hand. So then I've decided to play 2. Hadn't used many more lead effects yet. This was turn 5, I think. So I paid 2. Here's a deflect barrier. You got to send 2 cards from your Z energy to your drop area. His activate battle effect doesn't work because you have to have a superhero leader, but his order is when he's played, the opponent has 11 or more cards in their hand. They send as many cards as they got in their hand to the bottom of their deck until they have 10 remaining.
I feel like it should have been a green card.
He's just, he punishes basically SS4. I didn't expect to really do it against like Crimson players, but yeah, putting him down to 10 and then going in for like my massive swing, which was with my leader, to bump up to 110 or 105k. He pretty much like solidified that because that extra 6 cards he had in his hand would have got him over the line.
Yeah, sweet.
So he's huge, but he's only a one-off because you're only going to try and resolve him once in a game.
Yeah.
T-Cell, just an insanely like powerful blue Z card, probably one of the strongest ones we've actually got so far in the set when it comes to Z cards.
Blue's definitely taken over with Z cards.
Yeah. So these are 3 costs. You still have to pay 3 energy, 2 Z energy. He's a deflect critical. When he's played, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards and cost 5 or less and place them under this card. So you can't hit anything with barrier, but unless you're playing against yellow and stuff like that, you're not going to have to worry about that.
Yep.
So he's got an activate main. So after you swung once for your crit, activate main, switch him back to active mode, send all cards that are underneath him to your opponent's drop area. And if you've sent 4 or more cards back to your opponent's drop area, he gains triple strike. you never really get to resolve that effect. I think since playing this since like set 19 dropped, I've resolved it like once. I think.
Still, 2 crits is good.
Yeah.
Value.
Yeah, it forces your opponent to waste super combos or just a lot of cards in hand just to deal with him, or even just negates, which is what you want. 2 Beerus. Beerus is just insanely good in especially in the later games when you've just got so much more like energy manipulation with your leader. So he costs 2 Z energy. He's got barrier. So when he attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards which costs greater than their current energy and place it at the bottom of the deck, and then he gets 5k power for the turn. So that effect just in itself is really strong because you can get rid of like big blockers or
secret rares, Z cards.
Yeah, just the whole lot. And then once, obviously in rest mode, you pay 2, you can restand. When you restand him, you bottom deck a battle card, ignoring barrier, so just anything, which is really, really strong. There's a lot of people I've seen that they'll just pay 2 and they'll just leave him, they won't even swing with Beerus because they want to do his effect the next turn. But when you pay 2, bottom deck a battle card, ignoring barrier, he gains dual attack for the turn. So he'll swing again, he'll now be at 20k, and then he'll swing one more time at 25k.
Yeah,
so
great.
A lot of value, and his autos keep going off, so you just can keep getting rid of battle cards that are higher than energy cost. 1 Vegito. Great card, never played it though. I don't want to even get to 5 energy half the time, so paying 5 just to play him out is just, not for this leader.
So, I mean, if it's there, it's an option.
It's great for ramp decks, or especially if you can put it stalled out to turn 7, turn 8. So you pay 5, 3 Z energy. He's a deflect, triple strike, barrier blocker, so he has all the keyword skills in the world. His first auto doesn't mean anything because that's for the Trunks Future later. But his auto is at the end of your turn, switch into active mode, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of the deck, and your opponent places a places a card from the hand at the bottom of the deck. So a lot of value. Swing it for 30k, triple strike. He'll restand at the end of the turn. You get rid of one of their battle cards, and then they lose a card from their hand. And he's just a card that's going to stick on the field. Just be a nuisance. And I was tossing up between playing the 1-drop Goku Z card and this.
Yeah. Never
really resolved it because I think there was only one game where I got to turn 7, and that was against the Soul Striker, and that was a big grind. He's absolutely great, especially if you do get stalled out that long and you've already wasted your leader's resources. He's your Z Awakened leader. You pay 2 Z energy, 1 blue energy. You gotta have 3 or less life and 7 or more energy, and it's got to be a Son Goku, which we have.
Yeah.
When he attacks, you get to draw 1 card, and he gets 1k power for the turn for each card in your energy and Z energy. So you got 5 in your Z energy, 7 in your thing, that's plus 12k. So he's 32k base double strike crit.
If you're versing any blue Gokus from now on, they're at 7 energy and swing with their leader, negate.
Yeah, because majority of the time, especially when I did in that game, was I'd swing with my leader, I'd get my untap, I'd get my draw, and then if they didn't negate, you just pay 1, you drop them on top. So now you've turned him into your double strike crit.
Have fun out comboing that.
Especially if you use your effect, which is what I did on this one. So I used my whole 5 cards underneath. So I already boosted my leader. And so basically I put him up to, he was 30k because I got the Videl that was in my drop area, in my combo area. And plus the plus 10, so it was 30k base. Then I went into him, so it's 40k base double strike crit. Just for 1 energy, which is absurd.
Why not?
But yeah, like I said, most games I wanted to play fast, so this just never came up. I never wanted to get to 7 energy anyway. But yeah, so overall, I actually had a really good run. It was actually a great event. Tac did a great event. The whole weekend was just perfect. I didn't play in the Zenkai Cup, unfortunately, but
still did really well on the main day.
Yeah, so I had 5 with my 9 games. I had 5 Crimsons. I had 1 SS4 Gogeta. I had an SS4 Goku, black one, black leader.
That's coming back a bit now.
Yeah, I played Cell, green Cell, and the Soul Striker.
Yeah, so a lot of
overall,
blue.
so 6 blue decks. I went 6-3. My first loss was actually into time, and we had to go through the whole motions of we both had 3 cards in hand, both had 2 life. he had more battle cards on the field, so he got the win. Which was a bit unfortunate because it was his turn before we went into time was a bit of a stall. It was about like a 10-minute turn, then went into extra time, and he managed to just keep playing just little 1-drops and stuff just to stall out the 5 minutes. And it kind of hurt because I had 2 Champers in my hand, and all I was waiting for, because he had nothing else to do, so I was waiting for him to pass, but then all I had to do was just play out a cell, absorb a couple of his cards, swing. If he negated, that's all cool. He would have put him down to 1 life, and I would have just, my next swing, I just would have paid 2 of the Champers.
Time rules are really, they suck in
Yeah,
this game.
especially 40 minutes when there was so much blue. But there's nothing you can really do about that. So that was my first loss. That one kind of hurt, but it was what it was. There's nothing you can really do about it. Blue versus blue is always a long game. I think I went on to win the rest of my Crimson matches. So I won 4 of them ones. And I won against SS4 Goku, which was kind of scary because he opened up extremely well and he just kept swinging like crazy. He was tapping out, which was probably his biggest mistake because he tapped out for his Kumba.
Oh, yeah.
And because he did that, I swung with my leader. Obviously, I gave up my untap effect, but I swung leader, comboed a Beerus, and just got rid of Kumba. So,
Nice.
because I knew that no matter what I played, like he still had so many cards sticking on the field, he could just keep resolving the effect, and I was just going to be in trouble. So, play against Cell almost, like, he opened up extremely well as well. Like, he went first and got to turn 4, and he had everything sitting on the field, and basically my next turn I actually drew into my Gohan Secret. The second I saw that, I just started swinging massive, got him down to 3, played the Gohan Secret, put him down to 2, and then swung with that. He basically wasted like all of his resources trying to get out of that first crit swing, and then swung again for like the crit, put him down to 1, and then I comboed my whole hand on my leader swing because I draw 1, untap 1.
Yeah. Awesome. Well done on your 17th place in Oceanic Nationals. We'll see you next year for your top 8.
Oh yeah, let's see how we go.